What if a single small choice could change someone's entire future? What if all the confidence a person ever needed was hidden behind one tiny promise? This is the story of a boy whose entire life changed with one simple decision. In a quiet town, hidden among ancient oaks and winding paths, lived a boy named Eddie. From childhood, a habit followed him like a shadow. His head was always lowered. He avoided eye contact, walked quickly, spoke softly, and apologized for everything, even things that had nothing to do with him. People thought the boy lacked courage, but Eddie's problem was not weakness of body or a flaw of spirit. No, it was a belief planted deep inside him years ago that he was not enough. Anytime he wanted to join a group, ask a question, or speak in class, a quiet voice whispered inside him, "Don't. You might mess up. They might laugh at you." And Eddie obeyed those whispers. For years, at home, his mother would always tell him, "Sweetheart, speak louder. I can't hear you." He would just smile shyly. His father would say, "Son, the world is big. You have to be strong." But Eddie didn't know how to be strong. His younger sister, Lena, was everything. He wasn't loud, confident, full of life. Eddie watched her telling stories, laughing with people, and no one laughed at her. He thought, "Why can't I be like that?" His friends Tom and Nick invited him to play soccer, but Eddie always found an excuse. "Maybe another day. I'm busy." Not today. It wasn't because he didn't like the game, but because he feared being watched. He feared mistakes. He feared being judged. So he hid. Behind silence. Behind apologies. Behind the belief that he was not enough. Until one cold morning, when fate decided to sit beside him. Eddie was on a park bench, staring at the ground, as if the earth held all the answers he needed. A quiet old man sat beside him. No rush. No noise. As if he came from another season of life, the man said, "You look like someone running away from himself." Eddie didn't answer. The old man continued, "Tell me, when was the last time you did something difficult on purpose?" Eddie frowned. "I don't know." "That's your problem," the man said gently. "You think confidence is a feeling, but it's not a gift, not a miracle, not something you wait for. Confidence is a skill you build." Eddie whispered, "A skill? Yes. Do one small, difficult thing every day. Speak a little clearer. Walk with intention, even if you're trembling inside. And above all, keep the promises you make to yourself." The man stood up and said, "Every time you prove to your mind that you can, confidence grows on its own." And then he walked away, leaving Eddie alone with his thoughts. That night at dinner, Eddie barely touched his food, but inside, something was stirring a spark of curiosity. Maybe hope. In his room, he wrote a single sentence on a piece of paper. "Tomorrow, I will wake up at 6 a.m. A simple promise. Small. Almost meaningless. But the moment he wrote it, something inside him resisted. The next morning, the alarm rang. His mind screamed, "Stay in bed. It doesn't matter." But Eddie did something he had never done before he got up. Not because he felt confident, not because he felt brave, but because he had made a promise. And that moment, that single act of keeping his word to himself, changed everything. Day by day, Eddie added a new challenge. Day 1, wake up early. Day 2, speak one sentence louder to his mom at breakfast. Day 3, walk for 10 minutes with his shoulders held straight, even if it felt awkward. Day 4, say no to something he didn't want to do, kindly but firmly. Day 5, ask a question in class with a shaking voice and a racing heart. And something surprising happened. The world didn't laugh. No one mocked him. In fact, people started to notice him. He wasn't changing who he was. He was changing his habits. And those habits began shaping a new identity. Then one afternoon, the teacher announced, tomorrow, each of you will give a 2-minute speech on any topic you choose. Eddie felt his heart fall into his stomach. Cold hands, trembling breath. The old fears stormed back, louder than ever. You can't do it. You'll freeze. You'll embarrass yourself in front of everyone. But then Eddie remembered the old man. He remembered the early mornings, the small, hard-won victories. He whispered to himself, I won't wait for courage. I'll act first. That night, he practiced his speech. Not perfectly, but sincerely. He talked about his love for drawing, something he'd always kept to himself. The next morning, when his name was called, his legs shook, but his steps were steady. He walked to the front of the classroom, took a deep breath, lifted his head, and began to speak. Not flawlessly, not brilliantly, but clearly, honestly, and bravely. For 2 whole minutes, the boy who always looked down finally looked forward. He made eye contact with his classmates. He saw curiosity, not judgment. When he finished, a deep silence filled the room. And then, applause. Not because the speech was extraordinary, but because he had done the very thing he feared the most. And in that moment, fear lost its power. A week later, Eddie returned to the park. The bench was the same, but the old man was gone. Eddie sat down, and this time, he didn't stare at the ground. He looked at the horizon, because now he knew a profound truth. Confidence isn't found, it's built. Step by step, promise by promise. From that day on, Eddie never asked himself, do I feel confident? Instead, he asked, what small promise can I make to myself today? And that simple question made him unstoppable. Thank you so much for watching. If this story resonated with you, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. We'll see you in the next one.